And today we talk about one of my favorite things, which is the NASA solar system, and how one of their ambassadors is bringing science education to the public in a relatable and meaningful way. I think this is really cool. Joining us to tell us some more about this unique event is Miss Nicole Smith with the Mississippi Museum of Natural Science. So, hey, Nicole.
Hey, Rebecca.
We just had on NASA last week, or the Stennis Space Center, talking about the great work they're doing down there to get the rocket, or I guess the engines ready to take us to Mars. But you guys are going to let us, I guess, peek into the sky a little bit sooner than they're going to get to the sky. I guess I should say it that way.
Right. So we've got a lot going on. So on May the 19th, we'll have our first ever Moonlight Music and Meteors event on the museum grounds at the Den, which is by the cute and cool new playground. and so that is with the Mississippi Symphony Orchestra performing a series of astronomy-inspired music, and then I have NASA Solar System ambassadors and a few physicists and astronomers with us, and they are bringing everything from telescopes to laptops showcasing how you can download night sky apps. It's a little bit of everything we can get to you in a city environment. Like you might imagine it's kind of hard to view the night sky in the midst of the city because of light pollution, and that is a real issue. But so what we're trying to do is kind of get around that by using some equipment that helps us make sense of it even when the naked eye can't.
Which sounds like a whole lot of fun. And then you add the backdrop of some music, and I'm sure you're going to feed and have some bubblies too. I mean, what cool event is this? How did this come all about? How did all this come to play to say, hey, this would be a great spot and a great event for the museum to host?
Well, you're going to laugh at me a little bit. But,
I laugh at you all the time, Nicole.
So we started last summer. We were working with NASA to host this beautiful exhibit that we had called Space, Journey into the Future, and it was with us like all summer and through the end of the year last year. And we had to go through a lot of trainings, and we met several contacts across the state of, astronomy specialists, and it just kind of really built up our muscles, for lack of a better term, for science in the stars and how we communicate that information. And I had quite literally, I had a dream. I slept one night and dreamt of listening to music under the stars. And when I woke up, I'm like, oh, we got to make an event about this.
Well, I love it. And I think there's a huge, sort of hunger curiosity about learning more about star watching or learning about because it seems like here recently, or maybe I'm just more connected to it, there's been bigger events in the sky for us to have the opportunity, at least where we're at, if we have even a modest telescope to be able to see. And I think folks are really leaning into not missing out on those chances, even meteor showers that happen a little bit more frequently than some of the bigger things that, that sort of come across every 3,000 years or however the headline reads. But will we get to see anything? Will there be anything fun other than just maybe your average night sky for this event?
Sadly, no. Because of our original night for this event was supposed to be April 21st during the Lyrid meteor shower. And then the weather had other plans, and it rained us out. So we went to our rainy date, which was going to be April 23rd. And then the weather had other plans for that day, and it was so cold that the instruments for the symphony couldn't play. So this is, lucky try number 3 to do this. So we don't have any meteor showers, unfortunately. But what we do have, it is a new moon, which means it's going to be very dark, and that can be good, believe it or not. That can be a good thing because this is when the moon is located between the Earth and the sun, and technically this is the beginning of a lunar cycle. So it's very dark, and that could be helpful. We're also going to be looking for stars. So right now, planets show up either very early or very late in the night sky, so kind of beyond the range of the event's time frame. But the stars are still out, and so there's a lot to see for that. So I think it's a time of year that's called the Coma Cluster. And it's a collection of galaxies that move through the universe kind of together. So we're going to be looking for that and seeing what we can find. I've got Dr. Angel Tanner is going to be here. She's an astronomer from MSU, and she's going to have a laptop out there as a special exhibitor table showing audio translations of images from the James Webb Space Telescope.
Pretty cool. It's still going to be neat. I think it's still something fun. Even it takes you back to your childhood. You want to look up and all the wonder in the sky, right? We don't do that enough. We don't take time to just look up from our phones or look up from our busy lives and recognize there's this whole great big world or universe up there to explore and learn about. You mentioned time. So when is, you mentioned the date, but what time is the event, and are there still tickets available?
Yes, so tickets are still available. We've got our in advance. So if you Google Moonlight Music and Meteors, you're going to find a way to get to the tickets. The tickets are for sale until noon on Thursday, this Thursday. And then the event is actually Friday. We are doing some at-event sales, so kind of like an at-door sale. So that's possible, too. And Pig and Pint's going to be there, which, you might want to have delicious food while you're enjoying the symphony. We've got stuff that's kid-friendly happening, too. So we've got several exhibitors to kind of make it fun. So though the symphony's performance doesn't begin until 8, the doors open, the gates will open at 7, so that's when you can start to park, and we've got wildlife security here directing people where to park, so there's going to be a lot of parking, so we should be good on that front. And bring your picnic chairs, like lawn chairs, and bring your picnic blankets, and we'll have food for sale here. So it should be a really good night.
It should be a really fun night. I think it's cool, especially if you have a tween or I guess 10 to teenager that would enjoy it. I feel like this would be a really fun event. They get to stay up a little past their bedtime and see something neat. If we can't make this, though, Nicole, you guys are right on the cusp of opening your new exhibit. Folks are already making their plans for summer travel. They need to put the Museum of Natural Science on their list of places to go. What you got?
Oh, gosh. It's so cool. So we have this new exhibit called Permian Monsters, and it's going to be open to the public at the very end of May, on May the 27th, and this is life before the dinosaurs. So what you're going to see is like actual fossil specimens of real Permian creatures and also some animatronic ones, so that way you can get an idea of what these animals were like in life. Imagine a time period where amphibians are your top predator, and it's very cool. And so that's going to be here through the rest of the year, but it's kicking off the summer in time for the Memorial Day weekend. So that's going to be a lot of fun for people to enjoy. If museum members get a chance they go to a premiere party like the night before, so all members get like a preview of it the night before, and then the next day it's open to all the public, and you'll get to see some neat things. We've got 2 specialist paleontologists coming to visit on both that night and the next day, and they're going to be showing their own Permian monsters that were found in Texas, and they're going to be showcasing them for that day. So that's going to be really, really cool.
Always something fun, always something interesting and educational happening there at the museum. It's not too late to become a member if you're looking for things for your kids to do over the summer. So how do you do that if you want to, Nicole?
Google Mississippi Museum of Natural Science Foundation. You got to use that word foundation, and that will bring you to how you find a membership. And you can do it all online. You can do it for an individual. You can do it for a family. It's an ASTC reciprocal membership, which is the Association of Science and Tech Centers. There are about 200 museums that honor that membership, so that when you're traveling, you can show those memberships, and they'll let you in for free. It's a great way to plan your family vacation.
Oh, really cool. Yeah, and if you've never done it, you're passing through, make the stop. It's so much fun. You got little ones they can play on the playground that's right there adjacent at the LaFleur Bluffs Park. And even check out the Mississippi Children's Museum. You can make a whole day out of it if you are traveling through the central area. If not, you have no excuse. You need to go and visit if you're within driving distance.
Cool, really. I mean, people forget how amazing this part of the state is. They're like, oh, Jackson. I'm like, Jackson, it's great. You need to come see it.
You do. You need to come see it, especially things that are happening there at the Museum of Natural Science. Well, I can't wait to hear about all the fun things y'all see this upcoming week and what else you got going on this summer. You're always welcome, Nicole.
Well, thank you, and I expect to see you there, Rebecca. It's going to be a fun night. Moonlight Music and Meteors this Friday.
All righty, you guys stick with us. We got more for you coming up next.